this whole thing could have went in a completely different direction. Okay. And so ultimately, because I follow that choice protocol of connect, observe, decide, ask, don't ask, prepare for the ask. No. Hi, I'm Kathy Kowalik, and I believe that our dogs connect us to the heart and soul of what really matters in life. So hang out, and we'll take a deep dive into the human-dog connection and explore strategies that will inspire you to create legendary, enlightened partnership with your dog. This is the Enlightened by Dogs podcast. Well, hello, Kathy Kowalik here. Thank you for tuning in today. And today is a part 2 episode. So if you have not yet listened to episode 247, you might want to pause this, go listen to that, and then come back because I am continuing my conversation about the framework for giving dogs real life choices, not fake choices that we often give our dogs that are really based on manipulation and sometimes deprivation. I'm talking about real life choices where we all get what we want. We all understand one another and we come together as a family. All right. So I'm going to pick up with the end of the story about getting all my dogs into the house and one dog that did not want to come in, etc. So that was Katie. So we're gonna pick up this episode with the ending of the last episode so that we're tying it all together. All right, let's keep going with part 2. Now imagine how this whole thing could have transpired into something completely different if I did not honor her or any of my dogs for how they feel, for what's going on, etc. Right? You can just imagine this whole thing could have went in a completely different direction. Okay. And so ultimately, because I follow that choice protocol of connect, observe, decide, ask, don't ask, prepare for the ask. Now I have all my dogs in the house and now I can go ahead and go leave on my errand. So woohoo! Job well done, Mom, right? Pat on the back. Okay. That was me being a brilliant partner that my dogs deserve. Okay. All right. So that's one example. So other examples are, and I'm not going to go into so much detail, but you get the idea. We can apply that whole chain of events into just about everything. It's like, do you want to go outside? So we're all in the house like, okay, anyone want to go? Anyone have to go potty? Let's say that they weren't outside before my errand run. They're all in the house and when I got up and I was clearly going out, they could tell that I was going out, right? So the dogs would be up and they would be looking at me. Hey, what's up, Mom? What are we doing? And I'd say, hey, I've got to go on an errand. The way I tell them is I'm going to the store. So I could be going anywhere, but I just tell them I'm going to the store. And so they know that they never get to come to the store with me. That's my way of communicating to them. It's a human only experience, no dogs, right? And so I say, I'm going to the store. I'll be back in a half an hour. Does anyone need to go outside to potty before I go? And then I ask, right? So I just go ahead and ask, right? So I'm observing, I'm connecting with them. I'm observing, and so maybe I asked because someone looked a little antsy and I made the observation, oh, it's been like 4 hours before anyone went out to pee. It would be good to ask just in case, you know what I mean? And so that was my connection observation. And that's why I decided to ask. Okay. And now I let them choose. I don't make everyone go out. I don't try to encourage everyone to go out or anyone to go out. They get to say, do you want to go or not? And then, because that's my why. I already know I'm not going to be gone for 4 hours. Like if they hadn't gone potty for 4 hours and I was going to be gone for 4 hours, we would be going out to potty, right? I would have a completely different approach, right? That makes sense. But in this example, I don't really have an opinion. I don't really care one way or the other. I just want to give them the opportunity to say yes or no. And so they all tell me yes or no. And if anyone says yes, I let them out and I wait until they're done. And then they come back in and then I leave. If everyone says no, then I just leave. Okay. And how about if we're outside playing? Let's say that we're outside playing Frisbee and I don't really have a timeline, like maybe it's Sunday afternoon and it's just a relaxing, family afternoon. I don't have work to do or anywhere to go, etc. So I don't have a preference whether we continue to play or whether we stop. And there's no compelling reason, like it's not too hot, the dogs aren't overheated or overtired, or blah, 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 right? And so there's no obvious compelling reason to stop. And so, but maybe I'm thinking, I might like to stop or, whatever. Or maybe, like, because I've got some older dogs, right? And I might say, you guys, are you done? And I might just pause and I might say that out loud, or I might just do the protocol, connect, observe, and decide, right? Do I want to ask them if they want to stop? Do I want to not ask them? Do I want to prepare to ask them to stop? Okay, you got it? Like, are you okay with this? So that's another thing. So are you okay with playing, like, is that puppy annoying you? Or is that other dog being a bit of a bully to you? Is that strange dog, non-family dog? Are you okay with meeting them? Are you okay with that interaction, with that engagement? You know what I mean? Do you want to go meet that dog, for example? All those scenarios. And so, do you want to meet that stranger? Do you want to continue to stay in the proximity of the stranger? Right? So those are all times when I would connect, observe, and decide. And I would, do I want to ask, not ask, or prepare for the ask? And so, those are all choices. All those are opportunities for my dog to say yes or no. Okay. And another, just briefly, a couple of really brief examples would be like when you see me show that video or photos of me and my dogs at the gate. They're all waiting for release through the gate. I'm calling their name one at a time. They're taking turns to go through the gate, so we can go for a walk, right? And so they get to decide where they position themselves relative to each other, relative to the gate, relative to me. I don't ask them. That's like a don't ask. I don't ask them to go into a certain relative position, nor do I ask them to assume a specific position of their body. So I don't ask them to sit or down or stand or anything. They get to choose. So that's like a don't ask. Okay. But I do ask them to take turns and wait for their release. And I ask them that through my body language and my congruent communication. Okay. I wouldn't want to ask them. That's a choice. That's my decision to not ask a dog to be in a particular place of proximity because, like Clarky, he doesn't like being in the middle of things. He wants to be, in the back, right? Katie, for example, she doesn't like being in the middle of anything either, but she wants to be in the front. So same sort of impulse, but two completely different responses, right? And imagine what difficulty I could potentially have if I tried to switch that up. Like, Clark, I want you to be in the front. Katie, I want you to be in the back, right? That goes back to our why. Like, why would I want that? Is it important to me? Does it have any relevancy to what I really want? And so what I really want and why I want it, I really want my dogs to just offer a wait at the gate or doorway or gateway, whatever, for release and to take turns. That's what I really want. And I want that. My why is because I want to minimize chaos. I don't want dogs running into each other and hurting each other, or running into me and hurting me, right? I want some semblance of order so that we are all safe, calm, and happy. Okay. And I could examine all the other, do I want my dogs to do a downstay? Do I want my dogs to do a sit stay? Well, why? Right? Why do I want that? And if I ever decided that I did, then I guess I would teach that to my dog. But that's how we think about things. And so, I think that about covers it. Those are some really prime examples of giving my dogs opportunities to say yes or no, right? So there's lots of details in there. You may want to go back and listen to this again with a notepad, because I was kind of laying out a lot of little micro choices to my dogs, and you may have missed them. And so I would really suggest that if you have any doubt, that you just go back and, and re-listen to this and take some notes, maybe pause the audio and write some things down, and so that you get very, very clear about some opportunities to give your dogs the choice to say no or to say yes. Because as I said earlier, the more opportunities you give your dogs to say no, the more likely they are to say yes when it is important. Okay. I hope that makes sense. I hope you find this to be really helpful. All right. So that's what I have for today, my friend. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm looking forward to connecting with you next week. And hey, share this with your dog friends. Be sure that you subscribe to Enlightened by Dogs on your favorite podcast app on your phone, and leave a rating and review. That would be amazing and awesome. So go off, have some fun, enjoy your dogs, start to follow the choice protocol, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye for now, and be brilliant. Thanks so much for listening. And hey, if you would like to work with me so that I can help you discover the missing pieces you need so that you and your dog can finally be happy and enjoy life together, then head on over to dancingheartsdogacademy.com and request your invitation to join us in the Brilliant Partners Academy when the doors open for the next enrollment. See you next time, and remember, a brilliant partnership with your dog makes your whole life brilliant.